On the podcast, how many strikes can the Greens notch up? So defund police, take officers off the beat, and why do we need to focus on making profits in our economy? Can't we get the money from elsewhere? What? We dive deep into what a change of government might look like, and for a change, I sit down with two of my old mates, Cullen and Millen from Celebrity Treasure Island, and I'll ask this question. That was a year ago exactly, wasn't it? So what's changed? G'day, let's go. Are we paying these people to front up, or are we paying them to fly to Wellington to eat their lunch? Should you really lose your career for refusing to take part in a 90-minute lesson about Māori culture? This government doesn't actually have any idea how to get economic growth. Show us what you made of, Prime Minister.
Editor-in-Chief with Duncan, Garner.
Okay, welcome to the program. You're with the Editor-in-Chief. Good evening, everybody. I'm Duncan, Garner. Welcome. Please subscribe. We're really keen for you to subscribe because that's what keeps us in business. So thank you so much. Keep subscribing. So tonight, my take on the deranged Greens. Shortly, I'm not sure they're fit for office, are they? And my mates, Cullen and Millen, we will reminisce. We'll look back. So please subscribe. Let's go.
It's the Slam Dunk.
So this is actually worse than I first thought. This is this brain fart from Green MP Tabitha Paul, who says police on the beat scare people. It's time to get rid of them. They're frightening. Oh, they're so frightening. Now, this is so disconnected from how ordinary people feel that it actually places Paul amongst the crooks, because only those actively avoiding the police or with something to hide would be on the edge seeing them in the street, wouldn't they? They'd be on edge, wouldn't they? No one else would. But worse, Tabitha Paul's thinking extends to defunding the entire police force. She wants to defund the police force, reducing it significantly and farming out their operations to others. This is where she's at. So no traditional police force. Help us all. Hi, this is Anarchy speaking. Hi, Anarchy. It's the Green Party here. We're now in charge, so fill your boots and run wild. This is what would happen with no police force. Her thinking bears no resemblance to any modern-day nation on the planet. Not here, and I would doubt not on the moon or Mars. This is an easy story to get into the minds of the public, I reckon, because it's really simple to understand. This is the best political scandals and stories are the ones that the public get really, really simply, really easily. And therefore, this is damaging to the Greens. Even mums from the suburbs mums and dads in the suburbs who vote Greens, they drive, Nissan Leafs and Teslas. They want their kids safe, and they want law and order to prevail. So this is why it's damaging for the Greens. Add in the lack of criticism from her leadership, and the Greens are officially the noose around Chris Hipkins' neck. Hipkins is doing his best to say, they're not with me, I'm distancing myself. But we all know that to govern, Chris, you will need them. Here's as good as Chris will give.
Tabitha Paul's comments were ill-informed, were unwise, in fact were stupid.
So now you add in the Māori Party's separatism, and if you bother to look at their policy prescription, there's taxes at almost 50% on the wealthy and the Māorification of everything. And I reckon if they got to power with Labour and the Greens, on current thinking, I reckon Air New Zealand and Jetstar would be swamped with a mass exodus to Australia. Who would be left here? And I haven't finished yet. Adding Chloe Swarbrick's question line from yesterday about how evil profit is. Profit's terrible. And you have to wonder, are these guys fit to be anywhere near Parliament, let alone power? So Chloe was quite clear about this. She questioned the government about the need for profit. They laughed and laughed and laughed, of course, because profit helps companies stay afloat. They hire people off the back of that and they all pay tax, and the government spends it. That's how an economy works. What on earth was Chloe thinking? And how on earth was she thinking she'd pay for things otherwise? You make a profit, you pay tax. It's a cycle. So Hipkins has his coalition partners, and National has their coalition partners. All Chris Luxon, you think, has to do now is ram this home, but therein lies the problem. If he can't become popular from here, then something is truly wrong. With the economy slowly on the improve, and an opposition that adds 1 + 1 and gets about 14, you'd think Luxon would be at stratospheric levels, but he's not. Maybe this next few months, New Zealanders will see something in him, and their own situation might start to get better, and he might start to gain traction in the polls. He certainly needs to. And with the other side in disarray and looking a bit questionable this week, then I reckon Luxon has no more excuses as to why he's not cutting it. This is crunch time for Christopher Luxon. The scene has been set for you to take control and to gain popularity. The other side just scored a spectacular own goal. So are you up for it, sir? And critically, can you actually do it? Food for thought.
Editor-in-Chief with Duncan, Garner.
A year to the day, and I was not here. 13 days deep. A year ago, I was 13 days deep in Celebrity Treasure Island. So I think it's a good time to reminisce, to bring back the crew, or two lads anyway, that I hung out with on the island. It was Chris and Cullen and Milsey. Millen Baird. Lads, here we are. Can you believe it that a year ago today we were starving, cold, wondering what's next? When am I out of here? So lovely to have you on the podcast. G'day, guys.
Great to see you boys.
Yeah, it's been a little while, hasn't it? So this time a year ago, Millsy, I'll kick it off with you, mate. This time a year ago, what were we? Day 13 deep, were we?
Day 13 deep. I remember it because I think you were on a luxury yacht, and me and Kelly and Gabby were on the island, and then I think we might have. Did we break into Lance's cabin, Kelly? Are we allowed to say?
Well, we may have done that, and we may have got a visit from one of the owners of the island who turned up.
Oh, that's right.
On his four-wheel with his wife and some Heinekens.
That's right. Yeah, he was swiftly removed by the medic and the.
That's right. You guys did too. That's right. You guys had that fella turn up in the middle of the night, didn't you? That was quite sort of controversial, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, we saw this 4x4 weaving down the path and quite erratically, and then these two inebriated but very friendly people offered us a chili bin full of beers. And the guy said to me, "Are you a rugby player, eh?" I said, "No, he's a rugby player." It was a very memorable night, that one.
Sure was.
How did you? So when you went back, Cullen, because I was off before you. Actually, Mills and I went on the same night, didn't we? We dropped off that thing and we went the same night. So yeah. I haven't seen you since. Although we've spoken a couple of times and we've had you on the podcast, Cullen. But how was it heading home? How were you when you got back? Was the family pleased to see you, or you'd been away so long?
Yeah, well, they were pleased to see me for about 8 hours. I got home and before I went on the island, Dunk, I'd booked to go down to Queenstown for it was like a conference golfy type thing, and I just thought I'd be away for 10 days, so I'd have 8 days at home to rest and then go down to Queenstown. But as it turns out, I got home that night, didn't even shave, said hello to the kids and wife, and about 7 hours at home, woke up, got on a plane and went down to Queenstown. And I shouldn't have gone because I was gone. My hands obviously had blisters all over them. I don't know, I was asleep, trying to listen to a guy talking about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Oh. I was gone. I was rocked. My golf was terrible. Yeah. It wasn't good.
Yeah, mate, what a big call. Your body must have been in a state of stress. Hey, just what you'd put it through.
Yeah, I just thought I just honestly thought I'd be right. But yeah, I didn't realise how much it had taken. Yeah, it took out of me. And even when I got home, mate, you boys lost some weight. I think I was about 7 kgs down from, which is quite a lot for me. So, yeah, no, I reckon it took a good month for me to sort of come right. I reckon just in general, just feeling energy and getting up in the morning and feeling good. It took a lot out of me. And it wasn't even like Survivor Island. You know how those Survivor Islands go on, and they're brutal. We're treasure. We still had a little bit of food and. It wasn't Survivor,
No, but it was taxing because we were getting 3 times a day. You're being told where to go, what to do, when to crap and everything. Although that top toilet took a hammering, that's where we lost most of our weight. But I reckon that it took me a good few weeks to get back into it as well. I found normal life really irrelevant. All these luxuries and all these people doing these things. I just thought I'd get a grip and go and live in the bush. See, I found it hard to come down from it. Mills, I think you were similar.
Yeah, it took me a month or so to come right because it took me a bit of convincing to go on the show, and then when I sort of came back, I was like, "What? It seems to have had quite an effect on me." I couldn't put my finger on it, but yeah, it took me about a month to kind of assimilate back into society and get my bearings again. But I think maybe it was the simplicity on that island, and like you said before, Dunk, the camaraderie, just like having conversations, no phones. I don't know. Every now and then I'll think about the island and I just really miss some parts of it.
Well, I think we live in that, Kelly. I think we live in this madness, this rat race, and everything must be now, and we'll have these luxuries. And we didn't have anything out there, right? We had we basically had each other, and those friendships and relationships that became quite deep, and and as they do after all those days of Millsy trying to get into your bed and things like that. It was just weird. It was weird what I was missing.
Well, you do your podcast and you talk to a lot of people and you're on the radio, so you'd know the madness that this world is. So to be on an island with no phones, no watches, no TVs, not knowing what's going on. I mean, hey, yeah, we all missed our kids and wives and families and that, but like everything else, I did not miss, the news, what's going on. Like, it actually was a pretty good feeling and then you come home and you just realize how much you use, and kids, and you try and tell them, man, we had no phones. We're just playing games and whatever, playing Connect Four on the beach. Like, get outside and do stuff and get off your phones and shit and just enjoy life out there. Then
it's a good
I
message.
really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I mean, it's a good message, because my kids are all like this too, and they can't hop in the car after school without back on there. What's so important, And I looked at it, some dude in the middle of America skateboarding or something. I mean, it doesn't mean anything to them, but they're just flicking away, and their concentration spans nothing. And so I reckon the biggest thing I got out of it was seeing other people and becoming friends with them in an environment where there's no other barriers to that communication. Like, the phone is a barrier to life. It's a barrier to communication, Millsy.
Yeah, absolutely. It's we're all connected, but kind of disconnected, eh?
Yeah.
It was I don't know. It was kind of like we're all just cavemen and women just trying to survive, eh? Survive the next day, get that 1400 spot, get that 14th spot, and then make it to the next day. Hey, it was so simple. It was just like surviving to the next day, and to do that, we sort of had to rely on the laughter and the camaraderie. I think.
And also, I came home and people had sort of had almost forgotten about you, and things I thought might have been done around the workplace that hadn't been done, because no one sort of only half knew where am I or where is he. Sort of that word didn't get out. And so I had to sort of build my business back up again. A couple of people were abusing me for being a snob for not getting back to them. I couldn't get back to you. I said, I was somewhere where I didn't have a phone for a month. I don't believe you. This is bullshit. Get off your ass. I was like, hang on a second. I copped it, actually. I lost my car park in the building that I live in because I hadn't paid $100, and she abused me. It's kind of chaos by the time you get back. The little things, Cully. Little things, mate.
Well, that's right, mate. When I got to Queenstown, I was at the function. Obviously, there's a lot of people there, and I had that big full beard that I had when I left the island. So people were going, like, "What have you been doing?" And I said, I've been out hunting for a week. So that's why. And I hate hunting. I hate living off the land and catching fish, Dunk. I hate that, but so I had all these opportunities there, all these hunters down south. They're going, yeah, okay, come for a hunt with us, and I was going, oh yeah, okay. So yeah, it was funny how you had to sort of a little bit of white lies.
Yeah, I reckon.
Sort of, until the TV show came out.
Yeah, because when I rang my son when it was all over, he goes, hang on a second, Dad. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's counting the days. Hey, have you won? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 19. No, you haven't won. You haven't won, he said. And I said, yeah, well, it's still okay, for a hopeless guy.
Got close.
Yeah. Well, Mills and I went back to a house after it all ended. We couldn't go back by boat. We had to go through that. Remember going through the track, going through the bush that night and ending up. We were delirious.
Oh, we were. And then we had to do a 7 Sharp interview, didn't we? We were just trying to eat a steak.
Put on pink pregnant pants or something. Yeah, it was all a bit strange. And so, what about you, Millsy? How was in your work when you get back and everything? I mean, because you're a sort of freelance writer.
No, there wasn't initially. Sort of end of last year, I had a bit of a run coming into this year, but now I'm back into parenting again. So spits and spurts for me.
Yes.
So a lot of time to watch reruns of Treasure Island.
Did you watch it? Did you guys watch it? Did you watch every night of it that was on?
Yeah. It's amazing how much people invest in it. It's got quite a broad appeal.
What about you, Kelly?
Yeah, I mean, obviously the kids wanted to watch it, so yeah. Oh, there's parts where you knew that I didn't want to watch. There's some things that you're going, I don't want to watch that. So you sort of walk out of the room. But yeah, I mean, the kids quite enjoyed it, I guess. And yeah, but I don't know what you guys feel, but Mills, you're on bloody, you do TV stuff and that. It's hard to watch yourself. I find it very hard to watch myself on TV, or if you do some Sky stuff or wherever listening. Geez, you talk all the time, Dunk. So I mean, listening to your own voice, I struggle with that.
Yeah, but looking at yourself in a one-piece woman's bikini, swimming togs, just hello, look like an
I was
absolute.
pretty happy I didn't do that, Duncan.
Yeah, well,
that was,
I did regret that.
That was very brave of you.
Yeah. Well, it made things look bigger than they probably are. But I mean, it was just a strange thing. I mean, I was getting a bit odd by the end of it, I suppose. But I found I did watch it, and I got invited to people's houses. So people are diehards on this stuff. I'm not sure if there's another one this year or not, but I would get invited to friends' houses where I'd be a surprise guest. So I'd turn up and there's a whole street of people in there, and they didn't tell me. So I'd go in there and I'd have to sit there, watch myself, be a dick on TV, and the whole street was in there. People I didn't know. And I got set up a couple of times.
Classic.
Yeah.
That's epic.
Right.
Yeah. But also what I found was really young people watch this stuff. So I talk to a crowd here that's a bit older, but 12-year-old boys and girls yelling at you across the street. Yeah, mate. Like that's a bit odd.
Yeah. What is it? Do you think, Dunk? What's the hook for these?
I think it's family entertainment. I think that they see people that they recognise from New Zealand society, and they can laugh at them. They can see them at their worst, their weaknesses, and people are like that. They're voyeuristic. They like to look at people in times when they're struggling, and plus it's family fun. Like the family can get around and watch it.
It's also interesting watching the growth of some contestants. And the transformation and the arc from day one to whatever how long they stay for. It was cool getting to know everyone, especially on the other team.
Yeah, well, I was pleased I came across to you guys. And I've seen Carmel a couple of times in airports and things, and she's engulfed me with a couple of hugs. I said, "Why are you hugging me? You kicked me off the team." So,
are you all friends now? That's good.
I've seen JP. I saw him at a kickboxing event. I came back from the island, and my daughter's suddenly seeing this kickboxer, and so he's got an event. So I went in to support them and have a look. And JP's a big bastard. I didn't realise when I was sitting at the drink. I was standing in the drinks area, and so chatty. He's quite a big bastard.
He's a big unit, eh?
Yeah. And speaking of that, Cully, I went back and looked at that scrummaging that we did against Waitangi and JP. We did well, mate.
Oh, we hung in there, mate. You dug in, got your anchor in there. Mate, yeah, we weren't moving. We would have been there for another couple of hours, I reckon, if they didn't call it.
Yeah. Would you have been willing to? I was happy to settle down, and been banging there,
Yeah, no, I would have been happy to hang in there because that was a good effort, mate. I mean, we're the underdogs running into that, going into that little event with JP and Y. So, mate, we did well.
Yeah, and you look at the size of them both. That's why when I caught up with JP at this kickboxing event, I thought, God, you are big. Me and Kelly did well. That's the first thought in my head when I saw him. Was, you're a pretty sizable bloke. We did all right. And Whiting is, cut, obviously pretty strong. So
I thought you boys were going to be there a couple of weeks. That was just no one was going anywhere, eh?
Well, I thought we had good technique. I just sunk the bum in there, and it's reasonably large, and so no one wasn't going to move. And Kelly's immensely strong, and away we went. Yeah, it was good fun. I could have stayed there all afternoon. What else to do? Oh, the rugby pass. Thanks for the comments, Cully, because that got me a huge amount of credibility amongst my son and his mates.
Yeah, it's funny, when they do these challenges and they, whether it's Y with the league or whatever, Millsy throwing javelins, I don't know, but they look at you because you did it 20 years ago. So, Lance looked at me, it's a rugby challenge, Cully, and I'm like, mate, I haven't played rugby in 25 years. I'm just as good as bloody Duncan. Maybe not Millsy. How were you on that rugby challenge, Millsy?
Mate, I got a lot of stick for my rugby prowess in that one. That was embarrassing.
God, you made me laugh.
I got a hell of a mate. Your pass was bullet-like.
Well, I think it was luck on that little. But it was just, sometimes you get a sweet spot. That was it, mate. That was the only thing I did. Mate, I couldn't do much else. I couldn't hang from that thing at the end of the day. And I picked up the right snake.
You were first 15, weren't you, Dunk? St. Pat's?
Westlake and North Shore, but yeah, a long time ago. And the thing is, a lot of people said to me, "Oh, you fucked up this snake." And I look, because you're watching the show for the first time, you don't know all the antics around you, right? So that's why I watched it, to see what games were being played. There were so many games being played, and I was sort of out there on my own. I didn't realise. You see, realise those alliances and things. It's quite freaky when you see that for the first time, eh?
Yeah, there are a lot of alliances going on that I wasn't aware of. But hey, on the bright side, Duncan, at least you can build a spear, mate.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you couldn't,
know?
mate. You were in there for 45 minutes. We had to lift the cage off you, didn't we? Didn't we?
I shouldn't have had Siobhan build all those IKEA shelves, mate. I should have been watching.
How close were you to death, Millsy?
Well, yeah, and that water was cold, and straight after they put me in a car with the medic and yourself rubbing me down for about 40 minutes. I thought, oh, it might be all over for Millsy.
No, I was really worried.
So was I, yeah. No, but I wasn't in good shape.
What was it like, Cully, when Millsy and I didn't come home? Because you guys are waiting up in the shed there in the cabin, and you're probably looking down. And I don't remember much from there on in, but you must have seen your mates up there, yeah.
Look, I mean, I was up there with I was up there with Bubba and James. So, you know, like you got a kick to win the game in the last play, and you're sort of waiting, looking for it to fly over that, and then it misses, and you know, your sort of heart sinks. So, because we were at the top, and then they sort of had us there, and then JP come walking over the hill. So you were waiting to see, and so that was kind of, and it was like, oh, you know, and bloody Bubba and that are jumping around. Then she realises, she's like, oh, Cully, you all right? I was like, oh, yeah, because I was a bit gutted. It would have been, hey, I was happy with JP, but I was pretty gutted, obviously, to lose you two choppers. But, I mean, yeah, only one could come back, right? So, you know, one of you wasn't going to make it. But, yeah, the heart definitely sunk. And so that night was actually, yeah, it was a bit of a downer night, to be fair.
It would have felt a bit empty too, because going from sort of 18 people, whatever it was, suddenly you're down to, what was it, 4. Cabin will seem empty. You know, going off for a piss at the toilet. Suddenly she's pretty lonely out there, and it would be like there's not many people left, eh?
No, well, the toilets were a bit cleaner, to be fair, Dunk.
Is he, Millsy?
You can enjoy your morning dump. You could enjoy your morning dump, Duncan. You don't have to worry about anybody else.
Oh, no, all the flies in there are like, oh shit, they're down to 4 now.
Yeah.
That's bloody all you can eat.
Was the dog pleased to see you when you got back, Millsy?
No, he couldn't remember my name, mate. He was like, "Who's the tall guy?"
Yeah. No, I must admit, I learned quite a lot about not just other people, but about myself. You know, in those environments. And I felt like at the end of it, I felt in those last couple of days that I was actually doing better. And the longer it went on, actually, the more comfortable I felt with it. And I thought, okay, yeah, this is not hard. There's an end in sight, and I can get there. And so I was a bit disappointed in the end of going out. I was excited to get home to family and everything. But also, there's a little tinge of, oh dear, fuck that up a bit. I could have gone further.
Well, you did, Dunk, because you had won that challenge against Bubba, right? So you got out first, and then you just got tunnel vision, eh?
I did, mate. Yeah, but also this,
you would have been sitting up the top with us.
I know, mate. I should have been. And Bubba was good enough to, I think the word's plagiarise, but to copy what I was doing. And so she stayed close enough in case I made a mistake. And I didn't get the right snake. Because all the snakes look the same, Jake the snake.
Yeah, that was a bit rough, man. They were yelling out to you, weren't they? And
I did.
Just in the...
Now, on the telly, you see them yelling out to me. And in the zone, though, like, I'm sure maybe it's like this in top rugby. You don't hear people,
Yeah.
Okay, do we not mention that again?
Yeah, that was rough, man. You could have got all the way there.
Yeah. Do you reckon they'll have another one this year? Do you reckon they'll have another? I'm not sure they will.
Well, I heard rumours there might be one now, but maybe I'm wrong. But then I also heard rumours there might be one later, but I don't know.
Yeah. Would you do it again?
You
know what? I think I probably would.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I would too. After all that strange sort of talk, Cully.
Yeah, I probably would. I mean, probably like you guys. When I went on there, I was a little bit worried about how they'd edit it. Like, I mean, hey, if you guys are watching maths at the moment, I mean, that's a shocker.
Yeah, isn't it bad?
How they just edit, and it's just crazy stuff. But I mean, the good thing about probably Treasure Island is, like, I rang up Ron Cribb because he was on it the year before. Then he said he rang up Shane Cameron, and they keep it pretty real. Obviously, they edit bits and they do stuff, but they keep it reasonably real, and it's who you are. And obviously, but if you go out there and be a dick, then it's hard to edit. you not being a dick. So
Yeah.
they keep it reasonably real, which there was nothing really in there by the end of the show that you go far out. That's not who I was, but so that's
Yeah.
probably the good thing about it compared to Matt's. I don't know if you guys are watching
No,
Matt's,
I've
man,
seen
but
it,
that is
Kelly.
crazy.
It's I reckon this one it would be the most maddest, baddest one that I think there's been. It's unbelievable.
It's unreal. I mean, you kind of know what's happening because it's over in Aussie, so stuff's coming on Facebook, so you see it before it happens. But you still got to watch it because, like, man, this is crazy.
Yeah,
unreal.
You know, it's little things, strange little things have happened to me. Like I was in a pub last night with my son having a quick feed after footy, and so I said, let's play some darts while we're waiting, Buster. So we're playing some darts in this pub. I looked up and there's a big sign that's been signed by all these ex-All Blacks. And in the corner, there was, it said, the sign, it was signed by Kit Fawcett. And then it's, but that's your father, is that your father-in-law, right? Am I right?
No, uncle, he's my wife's uncle.
Yeah, so, but I thought of you straight away because I knew the name had linked to your wife. And yeah, just little things like that sort of bring memories back. And I don't know, I'm strange.
Well, you know what he was famous for, Dunk? Millsy will know this. But he scored more off the field than on it.
Well, I must admit, I did go on YouTube when I got back to check out how good he was because I knew that he'd played for the All Blacks and he was somehow connected with you. He wasn't bad. He wasn't. He was a bit.
Okay,
no, he was. Okay, for a start, I can see how he scored off the field. He was a bit Magnum PI-ish, quite smooth.
Yes. Yeah.
Alan Hewson with a bit more, with a bit more power and pace, but also he was actually a really handy player. Yeah, he got the All Blacks into trouble on a few occasions. I was quite impressed actually. Yeah.
Well, he's a one tester, wasn't he? One test wonder.
Yeah, but in those days, I think they played. Yeah, so it might have been one test, but he might have had 10 or 12 games because they didn't include them as tests. So they went on those massive tours and things. So yeah. You want test matches though, eh? What were you? 55, 58?
58, yeah, and two midweekers, so 60 games all up, yeah.
Shit, that's good, eh? Yeah.
Well,
people, I got a lot of feedback about both you guys. I'll admit it. Lots of people thought you guys were fantastic. Loved your dry wit, Cully, that you really sort of warmed to the game and you became a must-see. And Millsy, you were voted in my family as the most hilarious guy, decent guy, hilarious, funny. Because when you guys kept me, if it wasn't for you two, I reckon I would have struggled with that last 5 or 6 days. Once I came to your team, if there was people, if you guys went in there, I reckon I would have really struggled. I may well have put my hand up to go into the elimination.
But I feel the same way. Like you guys were fantastic for mental health because like the first 2 days I really wasn't enjoying it. I was like, oh shit, don't know whether this is a good move. There's some strong personalities around,
Yes.
And then it wasn't until I won that bloody puzzle that I sort of entered the game really because I was expecting to lose and then just to go get a burger in Whitianga, But managed to survive, and then my confidence kind of grew, and then I sort of we all became mates. Well, you probably a bit later, Dunk, because you came over about day 7. But
yeah,
it was just real lucky to have you two there. Sure.
Yeah, it was pretty competitive because no one wants to lose anything, do they? Everyone wants to do their best because everyone's got a competitive spirit of some sort. That's why they're there, I suppose, right? So, you want to do it as well as you could. And Cully, congratulations too, mate. You went right the way through. Awesome. What a long day it was for you that last one, eh?
Well, it was a long. I think that the beauty about probably us three boys is we like I know me personally, I didn't go in there with a game plan or
no.
I had no idea. Like it was just you wake up every day. Far out, we're still here, Millsy.
Yeah,
you lying next to Susie P, and we're still here. So that was our game plan. Was okay, we're here. Let's go have some rice and beans. And what's the challenge today? I mean, some people knew what was happening every day. Eh? Like they just studied the game and the show and just knew what was going on. And we were like, whatever, man. We're here. If we last, we last. If we're not, well, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, but those last 2, it was the 2 days that were quite long, eh? Like, the second to last day was those 3 challenges, and me and Bubba were terrible, so we had to stay on the island all day. And then I did what you guys did when I beat Bubba. I was on that bloody truck going through the road out to wherever we had to stay, and then the next day that was the worst day of my life, I reckon.
Oh, really? Wow.
Oh, it's just so long, and yeah, the river was cold. Yeah, it was.
Oh,
Yeah, it was
hell on
shocker.
earth. Oh, my God. Yeah, that's why I can see why going to golf was the wrong call in the end. But no, I loved it. I love seeing you guys again. And there was just something about having you guys around that made it more than bearable. You know, made it really enjoyable. You know, and I consider you friends. You know, that's how I.
Absolutely. No, I got a hell of a lot of time for you fellas. And also you showed incredible vulnerability on that show, Dunk. And like the transformation was epic, I thought. And
that's nice.
Ali, the stamina.
I've seen Michelle. I had dinner with Michelle.
Who, Langston?
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Because we went to watch we went to a kickboxing boxing event, and so we met beforehand. And I took my son, and my son ends up saying to me afterwards, "Gosh, she sort of told you off a bit, didn't she?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, it was just like the island, you know, just being told off."
Just got to stay away from her rice, Dunk. Stay away from the rice.
Yeah. Hey, did you have that? I mean, before I got kicked out, I started making dinner for you guys, and I put some salt in there and some rice and something, but I had to go and never came back. So I hope there was something there. Was there something? Did you finish that off?
Well, it probably was, mate. You know, bloody rice and beans kind of, you know, it all meshed into one after 19 days.
Yeah. No, it was
that risotto you made, Dunk, was amazing. Did you sneak some condiments in?
No, what I did was I overcooked the beans, so I mashed them, and I think we'd won a donut or something, or we cut a donut into 7, you know, one donut into 7 or something. I managed to get some of the cream and put it in and make it just a little sort of, make it a little bit creamy. I mean, I was desperate for some different taste, you know. God, I was even sick of fish by the end of it.
Well, that highlight for me was when you caught that bloody snapper.
Well, people talked to me about that, and they were talking about you, because you were right there, eh? And the hook fell out of his mouth.
Mate, yeah, that was legit.
Yeah, it was, hey.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I couldn't. I was like, far out, man. How good's that? And then you cooked it, cut it up, put it in the rice, and it was unreal.
Yes, right. Because that's when Michelle said to me, "Oh no, you've murdered it. It was alive half an hour ago." That's right. I felt terrible. Sorry.
Now I've got to go and pick up my kid and take it to ballet.
Yep, I'm going to footy practice. Hey, nice to see you guys. We'll be in touch anyway, eh? So thanks for your time. Cully, good to see you, mate. Melzy, awesome.
Sweet. See you, boys.
Okay.
Hey, love you guys.
Cheers, guys.
Editor-in-Chief with Duncan Garner.
Yeah, so it's good to see those guys, and I've seen Melzy on a couple of occasions, but not Cully. Isaac, nice to see them, eh?
Yeah, mate, it was great. Real cool.
Yeah. They're down-to-earth boys, eh? Chris and Cullen, so down-to-earth, so relaxed, just so, I don't know, he doesn't even realise he's a superstar, you know?
Oh, yeah, no, he definitely gives those vibes. It's clear to see that you guys became good mates over your time on the island.
Yeah, no, we did. And you ended up being mates for life because of that experience, you know? I like your haircut, mate. How much you pay for that?
Oh, thank you. This was $35, actually. You know, trimmed at the mullet, got to be fade on the sides, which you can't really see, but it looks very nice. $35.
Yeah.
What were they called again? Oh, that's really bad. I was gonna give them a plug, but I forgot
free plug.
You've
forgotten. Yeah, I mean, you don't get a lot of haircuts. I mean, I think this is probably was this your second one since we've worked together?
Yeah, probably. Honestly, it probably is. To be fair, I very rarely get a haircut, but I've got a graduation ceremony tomorrow, so
I was going to say
trim it up. You know, get looking good.
I was going to say, if you've got a new girlfriend or getting married or you're at a graduation, well, one of them's got to be true.
well, actually, I don't think I've told you this, Duncan, but I got engaged at the start of the year. Did I tell you that?
Oh, you didn't tell me, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, congratulations, mate. You must have had a haircut at the start of the year as well. Yeah. So,
maybe. I probably did it over summer at some point.
Oh, that's awesome.
I completely forgot to tell you, but there you go. Now it's announced on the podcast.
You haven't told me. You got to tell me. Okay, if I hear these things from anyone else, brother, I won't be happy. Anyway, that's congratulations. I like the haircut. Your dad, mum and dad will be happy too. Oh, you're finally tidying yourself up. Yeah? I bet they are too. Okay, so we've got some letters to the editor here. Do you want to kick this one off?
Yeah, I can read this one for you. Hello again. The left are in real trouble. Chippy needs to make it clear to the Greens that nothing is going to happen to the police, as Chloe supports this crazy brain-dead idea of getting rid of them. Luxon, if he has some balls, will tell the country that a vote for Labour is a vote for anarchy and lawlessness, as the Green Party comes along with Labour, and they will push this defending of the police, or defunding, I should have meant to say, of the police,
yes.
And Labour will have no choice but to back them, as they won't get back into power without the Greens. Greens knows this, and it's very worrying that what a future coalition of Labour /Greens /Te Pāti Māori will look like, and what radical nut bar ideas they could concoct.
Yeah, it's from James. It is pretty interesting. I mean, Tabitha Paul, she'll probably be quite devastated by the coverage in the past few days. But Parliament's a brutal place, mate, and when you make mistakes, and if you don't couch your language, if you don't, if you're not clear about things, then the press gallery and the other associated media, rightly so, will become quite brutal. And for a young woman, she's had a bit of a hammering, eh?
Yeah. So, definitely a tough time, but at the same time, probably a bit of a silly thing to say, wasn't it?
Well, imagine. So let's go and have a police-free state. Go and have a look at what society will look like. I mean, it is, and that's why I said, "Hello, anarchy, it's the Green Party here. Run wild."
Yeah,
it's
pretty much.
It's loose language, loose lips sink ships, and it's just silly stuff. But then you sort of dig around, you work out. Well, the other one last year said, "I feel safer with a gang member than I do with a police officer."
Yeah.
I mean, what is this party? And then profit's actually important. Profit's important, Chloe. Profit makes the world go round. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, that's what you get. Brutal place. Suck it up.
Editor-in-Chief with Duncan Garner.
That's us, folks. Thanks for all your feedback and your support. Get in touch through our social media at Duncan Garner Podcast. We're on TikTok, Instagram, or flick us an email at duncan@rover.nz. To my team, Isaac. I think he's probably dropped 2 kgs with that haircut too, I reckon. 2 kgs of hair somewhere. Thanks, guys. Thanks, mate. We'll do this again tomorrow, and congratulations on the engagement as well, mate. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, brilliant. And remember, life is no dress rehearsal. There is no curtain raiser. This is it. We live in one of the best places on earth. Get out and enjoy it. And look after yourselves and be kind and be fair. And have a great day and take care, New Zealand. Ta-da. Bye-bye.
Editor-in-Chief with Duncan Garner.